Death Cab.
Death Cab.
Death Cab.
Death Cab.
Death Cab.
Death
Death
Cab.
Cab.
Death Cab.
Death Cab for Cutie.
In Bellingham, Washington, Ben Gibbard, Chris Walla, Nick Harmer, and Nathan Good officially got together to form the first instrumental lineup for Death Cab. With Ben on guitars and vocals, Chris on guitar and production, Nick on bass, and Nathan on drums, the band was a successful quartet. In 1999, after finishing their debut album, Barsuk Records took the opportunity to sign the band. All in all, Death Cab cranked out 4 albums and 4 EPs with Barsuk, including Something About Airplanes, the Stability EP, the John Bird EP, and Transatlanticism. During the production of We Have the Facts and We're Voting Yes, Nathan Good exited the band, leaving the drums to Gibbard on his way out. Ben recorded all of the drum tracks for the album, aside from the 2 Good recorded before leaving. The record was put out in 2000 by the band, minus a drummer. So before going on tour with it, Jason Tolstorff Larson joined up with the tour as sort of a lottery-winning roadie. Larson stuck around for a few short tours, but never got around to actually recording with the band. By the time the band was ready to get back into the studio, Larson was replaced by a guy named Michael Shore. But after the production of the Photo album in 2001, Shore only did a couple of years of touring with the band before being replaced himself by their current drummer, Jason McGarr. Death Cab was doing well enough with Barsuk, touring and recording and gaining more and more fans as they went. They were doing so well, in fact, to be noticed by the more prominent label Atlantic Records. In 2004, a long-term worldwide deal was signed and promises were made by Gibbard that the new label wouldn't change the music they were making. All it would change was the design on the back and spine of their new albums representing the label. Signing with Atlantic seemed to be the right choice. It was really all the band needed to hit the big time. After signing with Atlantic, Death Cab proceeded to put out 2 new albums, Plans in 2005 and Narrow Stairs in 2008. Plans was welcomed into existence with critical acclaim and was nominated for a Grammy in 2006. After winning the Grammy for Best Alternative Album of the Year, Plans dominated the Billboard charts and stayed there for 47 consecutive weeks, grabbing gold status, and then continued on to go platinum in 2008. Narrow Stairs was a more controversial album. It was presented to the musical world with ambivalence. Fans and critics alike were confused about what to make of the record.
It's too moody.
Regardless, in 2008, Narrow Stairs became Death Cab's first album to reach the #1 spot on the Billboard 200 chart. In addition to creating and perfecting their own records, Death Cab has contributed to multiple other projects. As a band, Death Cab was featured on several different soundtracks, including titles such as Wicker Park, The O.C., and Stubbs the Zombie. The band was also a part of the VVA benefit and performed on their Don't Know When I'll Be Back Again tour. Individually, though, the members of the band have their own outside projects affecting musicians and organizations around them. Ben Gibbard and Chris Walla are both involved in an almost equally successful project as Death Cab. While Walla manages the production, Gibbard handles vocals in an indie group called the Postal Service. Gibbard's also lent his voice to Life is Full of Possibilities on the album This Is. After a stint as a DJ for Washington radio station The Berg, Walla focused more of his time and energy towards helping to produce for bands more than just spin their records. Not to be outdone, Jason McGarr opened up his own recording studio in 2007 and has helped new bands such as Smoosh, Tegan and Sara, and Pretty Girls Make Graves with his drumming abilities. Along with all of these things, Death Cab for Cutie has still managed to influence and inspire so many other up-and-coming bands the same way they were inspired by their favorite bands: Nirvana, Superchunk, Built to Spill, and the Pixies. Death Cab has come far in its relatively short existence, going from an indie project in the Washington underground to having their songs played in the mainstream all around the world. Death Cab for Cutie has accomplished what so many want in life: success.